Lyra glides perfectly toward the valley, the dawn light signaling a new era in Stedwick.
Drink well, noble friend. The stream runs pure today.
Observing the majestic Pegasus, Lyra understands that the aerial defenders of Erathia remain deeply vigilant. The golden-feathered griffin eagerly accepts the royal barley, forging a critical physical bond with Lyra.
The sudden eruption at the forest edge abruptly signals a dark shift in the peaceful valley.
Cease your frantic destruction immediately, creatures of the deep earth.
The shimmering fairy dust immediately subdues the wildly thrashing Baidan boars into total compliance.
Move toward the safety of the valley center. The dark shadows expand rapidly behind us.
Lyra quickly calculates the immediate danger, as the swarm of serpent flies entirely corrupts the surrounding atmosphere.
Begone, foul swarm! The winds of Erathia completely reject your toxic corruption today.
Lyra projects a massive telepathic weight to rapidly suppress the hidden ancient forest threat.
Submit your primitive mind immediately, ancient beast of these deep and shadowy woods.
The completely overpowered basilisk heavily retreats deep into the dark shadows of the ancient forest.
This burning sulfur clearly indicates a severe demonic intrusion occurring rapidly within our borders.
Lyra desperately accelerates her flight to reach the defensive waters of the nearby lake.
Deep waters of Erathia, and entirely extinguish these burning abominations immediately.
The violent collision of elemental water completely destroys the burning demonic invaders instantly.
The time is 0041, Central European Time.
Lyra directly observes the passing giant, understanding its massive shadow signals an urgent aerial warning.
A massive subterranean disturbance forcefully shatters the fragile physical peace remaining on the shoreline.
This ancient beast operates purely on blind rage and highly chaotic territorial physical instincts.
Lyra firmly refuses to visually yield ground to the massive terror blocking the atmospheric sunlight.
The southern borders require immediate magical reinforcement before the remaining spatial rifts expand further.
Turning entirely away from the chaotic crater, Lyra begins her crucial physical journey toward the south. Lyra launches into the crisp sky, initiating her critical patrol over the ancient marble fortress.
The fissure widens quickly. This toxic energy will consume the entire forest if left unchecked.
The pure magic bolsters the mighty defender, successfully holding the encroaching darkness at bay. Lyra releases a concentrated sphere of pure light, actively countering the toxic assault of the incoming dragonflies.
The corruption thickens rapidly here. This heavy fog actively conceals whatever monstrous beasts guard this dying sector.
Lyra aggressively deploys the cleansing gem, aiming precisely at the thick skull of the greater basilisk.
A secondary spatial tear just erupted violently. This dark magic is pulling more beasts into our realm.
The sprite immediately utilizes her rapid aerial mobility to forcefully escape the lethal biting range of the Cerberus pack.
Recognizing the overwhelming odds, Lyra actively channels atmospheric electricity to summon a powerful elemental ally.
Strike the rift perimeter directly! We must forcefully drive those demonic hounds back into the void!
A toxic ambush from above heavily threatens to completely disrupt the delicate magical containment effort.
Purity of Stedwick, heavily purge this vile corruption and forcefully cleanse this blighted soil immediately.
The delicate moment of victory shatters instantly as a massive seismic tremor violently shakes the purified earth. A catastrophic stampede severely threatens the border, forcing Lyra to quickly assess the deeply chaotic battlefield. Channeling extreme raw power, Lyra aggressively erects a massive physical barricade to forcefully block the herd.
Hold the line firmly. This heavy barricade must completely withstand their massive, crushing physical weight.
Standing firmly above the barricade, the resolute sprite aggressively anticipates the unseen massive approaching threat.
I will not let this darkness consume Erathia while I still draw my breath.
Lyra stares into the abyss as the true form of the enemy finally reveals itself.
Strike now from the heavens above and scatter the shadows back into the void.
Against the crushing weight of the shadow, Lyra stands firm upon her earthen fortress.
Your aggression ends here, beast. Let the heavy sleep of the swamp claim your strength.
Securing the glowing magic vine, Lyra sensed a lethal disturbance moving stealthily through the heavy swamp.
A hidden strike. The poison burns, but I will not fall to a cowardly ambush.
With a highly precise strike, Lyra used the glowing magic vine to completely neutralize the venomous tail. Illuminated by the blazing distress flare, the mighty Gorgon herd threatened to violently trample the Stedwick Valley border. A colossal wyvern monarch plummeted forcefully into the spatial rift swamp, violently projecting a massive physical shockwave. A grotesque chaos hydra violently ripped its massive body directly from the bubbling mud of the spatial rift swamp. A majestic unicorn charged fiercely from the Stedwick Valley border, aiming its magical horn directly at the corrupted anomaly.
Hold the line! The light breaks their dark formation now.
Lyra exploits the upper thermals, weaving through the chaotic airspace to secure tactical superiority.
The Hydra falls back. Maintain the aerial bombardment until it retreats fully.
With the battlefield clearing, Lyra gathers the absolute essence of starlight to seal the breach.
This rift closes permanently right here, right now. Return to the void. It is done. The corruption retreats from our borders, leaving the light to reign.
With the spatial rift securely sealed, the exhausted fairy lets the valley thermals guide her home.
We held the line today. The valley remains perfectly safe for another cycle.
As twilight descends upon Erathia, a profound sense of tranquility completely washes over the weary defender.
The king's colors still fly high. Our eternal vigilance was not in vain.
Lyra finds a brief moment of absolute serenity as the intense combat finally concludes.
The walls remain flawless today. Tomorrow brings a new watch, but tonight, we rest.
Every carved stone standing here purely represents the absolute survival of our people.
Lyra fully embraces the protective dark, her internal starlight glowing softly against the fading twilight.